Okay, so this is my first video, and it's also about my ex that I was with for 2 or 3 years, alright? And we're gonna talk about everything he did. We're gonna talk about just, you know, me exposing him because he wants to be a dick to me still. So, let's just jump right into it. First off, I would go out of my way to just do so much for him. I would give him rides. I would drive in here. I would drive him there. I would do all these things. But you know what? I guess that wasn't good enough. Alright? Secondly, he used me because, well, I'm going to use the term used lightly because I'm talking about the overall relationship. When I say used, he did love me at some point towards the beginning of the whole relationship, but this past year, he's been using me. Alright, let's just go into a few reasons on why. I got my car. And once I got my car, I had more freedom to bring him where he needed to be. I was more available. And he started, like, talking to me again because we went through, like, a breakup and everything. And this is, like, it's every time I get something that he can benefit from, he's, like, talking to me. Except, again, the first time that we got together. But I was more available to giving him, like, rides and stuff. I was more available overall. Secondly, I started getting into, like, selling cupcakes, which people love, so I make like $60 a day from that. And so I was able to buy things, which was also pretty useful, and I'd give him money a lot, so he knew that him being with me wouldn't limit that or anything. Thirdly, it's just overall, I was just a convenience. When he needed something, he went to me. If he, like, it's just, you know what I'm saying. What's, like, so messed up about this situation, though, is that in a few days, 6 approximately days, yeah, I said that weird, but in 6 days is gonna be my birthday. He broke up with me 4 days ago, and I'm such a caring person. You can fuck me over as many times as you want, and I'm still going to be loving you. So, I was hyperventilating, crying for him to not break up with me. And what did he do? He looked me in the eyes, held my face, and without any remorse or emotion said, "Sorry, I can't." Wow! What a great person. So, love that. After that, I just said I wasn't going to leave until he changed his mind because for some reason I thought he could be a caring person and see that I did not want to break up. And again, bringing up the fact that my birthday's in 10 days, which he didn't care, still was like, yo, please don't. Hi, it's Editing Melody, and I'm here to say that let's just have me remind that the days before he broke up with me was fine. We had no problem. We weren't fighting. Everything was fine, and I literally just took him on a date, and he was telling me how much he loved me and how much of a future he wanted with me. And this was just out of nowhere he broke up with me. Please don't. And he still did it and threatened to call the police on me, even though I was heartbroken. And let's just say I have severe anxiety, so I was having major panic attacks, and he saw that and kept screaming at me. What a great guy. What a great guy. I don't know what in my right mind thought staying with him for 2 to 3 years was like, he's the one. But I guess that was like the case. But yeah, that happened. And so after that, we're going into the present day. Yeah, we'll skip back to like later in the past and we'll go from there. I made this thing to where I was like, we can still be friends. We have been through a lot together. We know so much about each other. Like, we can still be friends. I don't want to completely kick you out my life for some reason, but we can still be friends. And he was like, yeah, we can do that. And, you know, it's not really working out. So let's just describe me as a friend. I like to buy things for people. I like to hang out with people. So a friend. I offered to buy him food and wanted to hang out with him since it's my birthday week. And he had the audacity to tell me, why the fuck do you keep trying to hang out with me and buy me things? I don't want to get reeled in. Yeah. Yeah. If you have the problem of getting reeled in again, which means you want, like, you don't want to get in a new relationship with me again, you still like me. So why did you break up with me in the first place? What the heck? And I bet you when you need a job to go to freaking Nederland to go work with your brother, you're gonna need a ride and it's not gonna be for me. So you can walk 30 minutes on the highway. But, you know, let's get into the past. So, he's always been kind of vocal. You know, when he gets mad at me, I'm suddenly a whore and suddenly a bitch and like, not that I haven't ever done anything, right? We females, we do things that's pretty messed up. But most, like, it being me, I don't like hurting people. So I'd be like crying, like I'm sorry, even though it's not even my fault half the time. Like, I'm sorry, like, let's not like have this, like, I love you, let's fix this. But no, I'm a whore and a skank and he wants me to get out of his life. And then a few seconds later, it's like, I'm sorry, I'm just mad, I have anger problems. What? But like, funny thing is, like, every time he's like had a breakup with me, because we have broken up, it would always be for like another girl. So like him like calling me these things and then him just like doing stuff that is those things, like a hypocrite, you know. We'll get into like the females later. This video is all over the place. Oh my god. So he was also handsy. So when I get mad, because I get mad, alright, I'm a girl, I get mad, he would take my arm and throw me, like, not like throw me, like kind of just turn me his way so I like am facing him. Not really, when I do say these things, like, it's not abuse, alright? I don't want to be like, oh my god, false abuse claim, I'm Tana Montague. No. I'm freaking just saying that he was kind of handsy when he didn't need to be. Which we all are. I'm just making that a point. About the females, alright? He'd be like, oh, she's my friend, blah, blah, blah. Melody, you won't let me have my friends not blocked? Honey, I made you block them because before we were even getting back together or talking, you were flirting with them, trying to get in their pants. They aren't friends, they're your fuck buddies. Get it right. They're two different terms. I love guys, as you can tell. I love having feelings to like just be brought down and you know. But that's all I'm going to say. There's really nothing more. That just sums up the whole relationship. But again, yes, I've done things that I'm not proud of. He did love me at some point. He apparently still cares about me. But I'm just exposing because guess what? I'm tired of this shit, and I'm tired of being treated like shit when I've done nothing but everything for him. Hey, it's Editing Melody again, and I'm just gonna make a few more points before I end this video, before him or his friends make it. I'm not trying to, like, make him not have friends. I'm not trying to, you know, ruin his life. I wish I could, but I just don't have that power. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not like that. But I'm just trying to say it from my point of view of how things went down. I'm not saying there was never anything good about the relationship or I really wouldn't have put so much into it. But it's the fact of how many times it's ended and how it's ended each time where it's kind of like, well, yeah, there had to be some using and yeah, there had to be like just every point I've made. And yes, I have done some really messed up things, which I cried and, like, actually you could see I felt bad for. I've said things that I've obviously felt bad for. And I don't have to worry because everything I've done, I've cleared up and was actually sorry for. And that's all I have to say. But no, it was for a good part, a good relationship. It's just when you tell me like everything was fake and you faked the relationship this time, that's when like things are messed up. And then say I just like broke up with somebody after telling them I faked everything, and then I'm going out of my way to ignore them and like just be hateful, even though I know like I just broke up with them, ruined their birthday plans, and just like hurt them severely. Like it's really just messed up, and like I'm just trying to make a point. So that's all I'm saying. I wanted to say my part before everybody else says theirs. And in the end, I know about the relationship more than anybody else, and I'm going to tell the truth about it despite what anybody else says. And if we have any more questions on what I've done, I'll say it. So, everybody have a great day. Probably nobody's going to watch this because I have no subscribers, but bye.